Hey everyone, it's Casey, and today I'm going to take you through a core-focused Hatha class. So with this, it's going to be a gentle approach to getting into the core work, but still providing a nice intensity as well. So if you want some movement, you want a little core focus, but you also kind of want a softer approach, this is the one. 2 blocks, optional. We'll definitely use 1, 2 maybe for a different posture, but have them handy. Any other props that you might want, but let's go ahead and jump in. This is a full-length class, so we'll get a nice shavasana at the end as well. We're going to start off in a seated position. So any comfortable seat. If your legs get uncomfortable, you can prop up the hips a little bit higher or take another variation with your legs. With the eyes closed, lift the spine up nice and tall. And just take a moment to feel your body. Feel the points of contact with the ground. Allow those little fidgets, adjustments, and that little bit of energy to slowly trickle out of the body. Feeling a little more centered, a little more grounded. And we're going to help drop in a little bit deeper by utilizing our breath. Releasing some excess tension or lingering discomfort, stress. So empty out your lungs here. Just let all of the breath out. And then through the nose, begin to breathe in, down into your belly. And let it expand open as it rises into the ribs and all the way up into the chest. Hold the breath at the top. Feel the lungs open up a little bit more. And then just open up your mouth, exhale, let it all the way out. Again, slow breath in. Take your time to expand wide in all directions, lifting the breath as high as you can. Holding it. Open up the mouth, big sigh out, exhale. Okay, we're going to do that one more time, then we'll settle into the breath a little bit more relaxed. So deep breath in, filling up, expanding out and around, all the way up to the top. Holding the breath. Then you're going to keep the breath through the nose. As you exhale, gently empty out from the top, all the way back down to the bottom. Now continue, but instead of going to that full peak capacity where you're kind of putting a little extra effort into the breath, I want you to pay attention to your breathing and allow full expansive breath without it having to be maxed out 100%. So just kind of backing off that effort a little bit here. Let the fluidity start to come into the breath. And just lightly start to constrict the airways. Let that feeling, that sensation down the back of the throat create that ocean wave sound. Ujjayi breath. The victorious breath. And through this ocean wave sound, that constriction in the throat, feel it on the inhales and the exhales. Slowing the breath, relaxing your mind. And just give yourself a few more breaths here. And then we'll start to draw a little bit of that core awareness. One more deep Ujjayi breath, but maintain that breath. And as you maintain that breath, we're going to keep it, but we're going to add on some gentle activation. Okay, so you can keep the eyes closed if you need to see. I'll be kind of showcasing with my hands as well, but try to lift your spine up nice and tall, trying to get the crown of the head right over the hips. You should feel your sit bones down on the ground, okay? So typically we kind of roll forward in the hips. See if you can sit back, sit bones rooted, and lifting all the way up through the crown. Shoulders lift up, back, and down. And then feel your ribs, your lower rib cage. Feel it start to draw in towards the center. So it's really natural for it to kind of flare open here. Draw the ribs in slightly, okay? And then from that space where the spine is nice, stacked, and aligned, we're gonna come into Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, so if you're familiar with the practice, you know what this is. We're gonna come into that upward flying lock. Okay, if not, I want you to feel your belly button, that navel center, and feel it start to pull back towards your spine while maintaining that breath in and out of your nose. Ujjayi breath. And then as the navel draws back towards the spine, it's called upward flying lock. So we're gonna take that lock of energy that's drawing back, and you're now gonna imagine lifting it up underneath your lower rib cage. So it's drawing back and all the way up, kind of hollowing out the space here in the front. You're gonna feel all the muscles kind of engaged to support that lifted energy. And then hold that, maintain your breath in and out of your nose. Try to find that nice balance point where you can still breathe smoothly while keeping that core engagement. Energy is lifting back and up, upward flying lock. Uddiyana Bandha. Let's take 2 more deep breaths with this engagement. And then go ahead and relax those muscles. Soften it a little bit here. Couple deep breaths, just feeling now kind of that relaxation through the front part of the body. But we're really trying to activate all the core muscles surrounding the torso, surrounding the spine. Okay, so we're gonna do that one more time. And this is gonna be the main bandha that we focus on, that core engagement. So throughout this practice, when I say engage your core, I want you to come into this Uddiyana Bandha, okay? But I'm gonna add on one other piece that can be helpful in some core related positions, okay? So spine up nice and tall. Find your breath. And then lightly pull the belly button back towards the spine, lifting it up behind your ribs. Hold the energy there. Breath. This is Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, so now we're gonna bring our attention down to the pelvic floor, all the way down to that space that's connected down through our roots. And I want you to imagine that you could try to lift your pelvic floor up towards your belly button. So imagine energetically that you're trying to contract and lift that pelvic floor up towards the belly button. Hold that energy up. Keep breathing. And then from the belly button, take that energy, pull it back and all the way up. So now all the energy from the base, the ground, is lifting all the way up towards your rib cage. So through the navel and all the way up. Let's hold here 2 more deep breaths. Pelvic floor is lifted. Engaged. That's Mula Bandha. And then we have Uddiyana Bandha. And then go ahead and relax all those muscles. Okay, relax your breath. Okay, go ahead and open up your eyes if you haven't already. So you can tell a lot if engagement is happening just by feeling that energetic lift, okay, those slight engagements. And we're gonna focus on that throughout the practice, which is going to bring that core awareness into the practice and make us feel a lot more connected to it overall and bringing safer movements overall. So from your seated position, let's start off hands on the knees, and we're gonna just do some side-to-side motions. So you're gonna just kind of rock to one side and then sway your body to the opposite side and just continue like this. Try to maintain that nice Ujjayi breath in and out of your nose, that oceanic sound. Now as you move side to side, I want you to imagine that you're rooted down through the sit bones. So there's not much movement in the hips here. And instead of movement in the hips, I want you to think more kind of shifting through the pelvis slightly. One hip point lifts, and then the other lifts, and then the rest of the body kind of follows. The head is going to be the last thing to follow in this movement. Okay, a couple more rounds just like that. I want you to really loosen up into your spine and down into your pelvis. Okay, and then slowly bring yourself all the way back to center. Stay holding onto the knees. Inhale, you're gonna draw your chest forward and up. Feel your sit bones start to pull back, full extension in the spine. So it's a seated cow position. And then exhale, seated cat. Chin to chest, tail tucks under, round your back, really curling in here. Inhale, open up, extend the spine. And then exhale, round, curl it back in. Really focus on your breath and motion, moving together. And then once you find a rhythm, maintain it. And now draw your awareness down into your pelvis, your hips. Feel the pelvic tilt as much as you can to emphasize each movement. So really wrapping the tail under and extending the sit bones back. Front of the hip points draw forward. Feel those opposite motions. Okay, now we're gonna kind of combine the two. So let's make our way up into neutral spine. And we're gonna start to sway to a side. Let's get a little side-to-side motion starting first. I feel like it's a little easier from here. And then from here, I want you to kind of round back, side to side, come forward, side to side. Maybe create little circles in your pelvis. I want you to kind of play with movement a little bit here. But think about your pelvis. It is a pelvic bowl. I want you to imagine kind of rolling that bowl around, but you're not trying to spill what's inside. You're just trying to find that tipping point all the way around. Nice, and then slowly make your way back up to a nice neutral spine. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears, pull them back, and then all the way down. Quick stretch into our arms and shoulders. Right hand forward, arm is straight, thumb up, cross it over the chest, left hand hooks in front of the elbow. Try to keep the arm straight here as you draw the arm towards the chest, lifting the spine up nice and tall. One more breath. And then slowly release. Left arm forward, thumb up, cross it over the chest as the right hand hooks in front, drawing it in. Deep breath. Slowly release, shoulders forward, up, back, and then all the way down. Okay, let's get those core muscles warmed up a little bit more. You're gonna uncross your legs, taking your feet to the ground with the knees bent. And then from here, holding onto the backs of your legs, lifting the chest up, okay? Lower back is nice and long. And then I want you to feel your belly button draw up and in. We're gonna engage Uddiyana Bandha, that upward flying lock. Okay, you can also engage down into your root lock, that Mula Bandha, by lifting up through the pelvic floor, bringing a little more lightness and ease into the body. Hold this, breathe. Keep the lift of the spine, the core engagement as the feet walk in and together until you can find a little bit of float for your feet. Maybe lift the shins parallel with the ground. Okay, so stay here. Maybe work on extending the arms out. Maybe extend the legs. All of these are great options, okay? Even if the feet are barely touching the ground or trying to hover away, even if you need the hands on the ground behind you, that's okay. Hold where you are, core is engaged. Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. Feel the knees drawing towards the chest as the chest lifts. Hold one more breath. Whatever variation. And then slowly lower the feet down to the ground. Just let your body fold over the legs for a second. And then coming all the way up, right leg extends long, left foot comes to the inner thigh. Spine up tall, arms reach up, deep breath in. And exhale, hinging forward at the hips. Let the hands drop down to either side of the leg, maybe holding onto the shin, foot, or if you have a strap at home, you like using a strap in this position, you're more than welcome to use what you have. Give yourself a few breaths. You can sway a little bit in it, find any movement, or just let yourself settle into a little bit of stillness, taking in the sensation. Make sure you're staying in your breath. Walking the hands all the way back up into a seated position. Just go ahead and lift the knee and step the foot over the leg. Right hand is going to hold on to the knee. Left fingertips sweep around to the ground right behind you. Spine up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, twisting open to the left side. Maybe look back over the left shoulder. Let's take a few more deep breaths. Lifting taller. Twisting a little deeper. Maybe hook your elbow to the outside of the knee for a little more leverage. Last breath. Inhale, slowly unravel to center. Walk your hands off to the right side and just let yourself round over. And then as you come all the way up, let's bring the foot back to the inside of the thigh, just briefly here, and open the right leg out to the right side. Right hand is going to rest to the inside of the leg, pressing into the leg to help open up the chest away from the leg. Left hand reaches all the way up. If it gets kind of stuck, reaching it out to the side, reach it in front of you and up instead. See if you get a little more range of motion in the shoulder. And then slowly start to lean over to the right side. Doesn't matter how far you go, but really focus on rolling your heart open, using that hand or inner forearm to the inside of that leg to help leverage that nice open twist. Reaching through the top fingertips. Let's take one more breath. Coming all the way up, let's take the left hand, bring it down to the ground right behind you, and kind of lean back into the hand. Right hand reaches up as you open up the chest. Stay here or press the hips off the ground. Open up the spine, nice little back bend, giving that front side of the body a nice little stretch. And then bring yourself all the way back down and up. Okay, let's go ahead and bend both of the knees. Drop back on the hands for a moment. Let's just sway the knees side to side. Left leg goes long in front, right foot to the inside of the thigh. Spine up tall, maybe walk the sit bones back a little bit. Arms reach up, deep breath in. And exhale, hinge forward, hands drop down. Once again, leg, the ground, using strap or hold on to the foot, toes, whatever you've got. Lengthen the chest, sit bones draw back. Nice activation into your quads. If you want to move, you move. If you want to stay still, stay where you are. Couple more breaths. Use those deep ujjayi breaths. Last breath. And then you're just going to walk your hands all the way back up into a seat. Right knee lifts and step the foot over the leg. Left hand hooks around the knee, right fingertips to the ground, right behind the hips, but keep the weight in the hips here. Lift the spine, deep breath in, all the way up through the crown of your head. And then exhale, twisting your ribs and chest open to the right side. Maybe look back over the shoulder. Take a few more breaths, lifting taller on the inhale, twisting deeper on the exhale. Maybe take your left elbow to the outside of that knee, leverage the twist. One more breath. Inhale, unravel back to center. Let's walk the hands off to the left side and just round down. And as you come all the way back up, placing that right foot back to the inside of the thigh, left leg opens out nice and wide. Now left hand comes to the inside of the leg. Once again, using it as a little bit of leverage point. As you open up the ribs and chest away, right hand can reach up, either forward and up or out to the side. Lifting on a breath in, and on your exhale, move into that space, reaching over to that left side. Keep the chest rolled open as you reach over. Keep that energy extending through the fingertips, nice and heavy in your right hip. Pressing into that inner leg. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way up and set the right hand down. Plant the palm this time, lean into it. Left hand reaches up as you open up the chest, stay here, or press the hips off the ground, open up the spine. Once again, just kind of stretching those muscles out on the front side. And then let's slowly bring it all the way back down. Bend the knees, feet on the floor, hands drop back, and let's just rock the knees. Okay, let's make our way into a tabletop position, coming onto all fours, however you'd like to get here. Spread the fingers out nice and wide, and let's warm up the wrists just a little bit. So nice little circular movements over the wrists. Squeeze through the fingertips here, and then squeeze through the base of your fingers, right where they join with the palms. Switch directions. Okay, then as you come to center, walk the hands halfway closer to the knees or as close as you need them to. And we're gonna flip the palms up so the tops of the hands come down to the ground. If you need to walk them closer, walk them closer. And then from here, you might just stay letting your weight sink down or lean your weight back, hips towards the heels until you feel your appropriate stretch. Not for long. Bring it forward, flip the hands back over, bring yourself back in a tabletop, and one hand at a time, just kind of shake it out. Okay, I'm gonna start on left side here, just so we can follow together here. So we're gonna take the left leg, and actually let's extend the left leg back. Just reach it back behind you, it'll be much easier. Right arm reaches forward. And we're gonna find nice length into the spine. So really try to lengthen from the crown of your head all the way down towards your sit bones, and then from your fingertips towards your back foot, stretching in opposition. Feel your ribs draw in, feel your belly button hug up and in, Uddiyana Bandha, that core engagement. Let's take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, draw your elbow and your knee towards each other and round your back. Press the ground away to try to create more space, hollowing out your belly. Inhale, reach forward and back. Core engages as you extend. Ribs in, navel draws up and in. And exhale, squeeze elbow to knee, round your back. Inhale, reach forward. Last one, engage your core. Exhale, draw your elbow towards your knee, round. Extend forward, and then let's drop the hand back down to the ground, drop the knee to the ground, take a little child's pose. Sink the hips towards the heels, relax your spine, your head, maybe stack your hands underneath your head. Couple deep breaths, come back into the smoothness of the breath. Okay, let's slowly come forward. Now, right leg's gonna extend back. As you extend the leg back, firm up through the core, left hand reaches forward. Feel the belly button hug up and in, Uddiyana Bandha. Feel the ribs knit in. Feel the reach from fingertips to the back foot, either through the heel or toes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, elbow to knee, squeeze as you release the breath, round your back, curling in. Inhale, extend back out through hand and foot, ribs in, belly button up and in, neck is nice and neutral. Exhale, squeeze in, round, curl in. Last one, inhale, extend out, tighten up the core, navel up and in. And then exhale, round, curl. Inhale, extend, and then slowly lower the hand, followed by the knee. Sink back, child's pose. Okay, let's come forward. Tabletop position once again. Okay, this time you're going to extend your left leg back, but keep your toes tucked on the ground. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a couple options here, and the options are going to be for your stability and balance. So, option one is to take the foot of the knee that is bent, and you're going to just open it out behind you. Okay? So it's kind of like a quarter circular opening, which works as a kickstand. If you don't need quite that much, only open it a little bit, okay? And then if you want an extra challenge, don't move it at all. Keep it nice and lined up, using more core here, okay? Your left fingertips are gonna slowly reach up towards the ceiling. Press the ground away with that bottom hand. So once you're here, you're really gonna tell if you need that right foot for a little more stability. Either keep it lined up or bring it out wide behind you as much as you need. Stay here, or if you want a little bit more, start to float the left toes off the ground and extend out through the foot, bringing it parallel with the ground. Now, feel your core engage. Feel the belly button hug up and in, and hold that energy right underneath the ribs. Press into the ground. One more breath. Slowly lower the foot if it's up. Lower the hand, and slowly make your way back into a tabletop position. Okay, let's do the other side. Right leg extends back. From here, left foot can stay for an extra challenge, or kickstand it open as much as you'd like. Right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Now as you reach up, press the ground down. Activate your core muscles here. So feel your belly button hug up and in. And through that core engagement, hold the energy in your ribs. Maybe float your right leg up. Move slow. Move slow and let the core help guide the motions. One more breath. If the foot's lifted, let's bring it back down, followed by the right hand, and then right knee comes back to the ground. Okay, we're gonna just go through some cat-cows here. So exhale, round your back, chin to chest, tail tucks. And then inhale, open up, lift the chest, sit bones draw up. And exhale, round. Inhale, open. And then let's come back, nice and neutral. Okay, we're gonna do one last core move from this position. If your wrists are just not feeling it, couple options. Come down onto your forearms and just work the legs on the variations. Don't even worry about working the arms, or just skip it, okay? Now, from here, left leg extends back. Right arm extends forward. And then you're going to take that right arm and reach it out to the right side. And then take your left leg, stay here, or start to slowly kick it out to the left side, but feel your core engage. Navel draws up and in. Slow the motion. Feel it here, one more breath. Slowly reach forward and back. Try not to rush. Use the core. Keep it engaged. And then lower the hand and knee to the ground. Okay, last side. Left hand forward, right leg back. Stretch it long. Activate your core muscles here. Left hand reaches to the left. Keep the core engaged. Maybe kick your right leg to the right. Move slow. Keep it lifted. Slowly stretch forward and back. And then reconnect, tabletop, and sink into a child's pose. Hips to heels, relax your spine, give yourself a few breaths. Okay, let's make our way forward and lower down onto your forearms so that the forearms are down at the top of the mat. And then you're just gonna walk your knees back until you can release your hips to the floor, untuck your toes, coming into a nice little Sphinx position. So with the elbows right underneath the shoulders, you have a nice lift in your chest. Okay, so we're gonna kind of sequence through back and forth between this and a little core lift. I'm gonna call it a hollowing out, a hollow shape. So what I mean by hollowing out is we're gonna curl and round our backs and our hips, lifting our hips off the ground, but we're not just gonna hinge and bend at the hips, okay? When we do that, we take the core activation out. So I really want you to feel like you're hollowing out by rounding the top of the body and letting the front side of the body start to zip in, okay? So Uddiyana Bandha is gonna be majorly engaged here. Okay, so from your Sphinx, grip the ground with your hands, pull it towards you. Ribs start to draw forward, feel the heart lift up, chest is nice and broad. Take another deep breath in here. And then on your exhale, start to press to the hands, chin to chest. You're gonna round your upper back, lift the hips, curl. So hollow out. Only thing touching the ground right now is your forearms, knees, and legs. And then slowly melt the hips back down, pull the ground towards you as the ribs pull forward, heart lifts up, coming back into your Sphinx pose. Let's take another deep breath in. And then exhale, press, round, hollow out. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly melt the hips back down. Inhale, lift the heart forward and up, pull the ground in. Exhale, press and round, curl, hollow out. Deep breath in. Exhale, melt the hips back down, heart lifts up. Now from here, let's open up the elbows. We're just gonna kind of stretch everything open here. So right arm reaches to the right side, palm down. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. I'm gonna bend the left knee and just roll over onto my right hip. Okay, my right arm is directly out to my right side, straight out from the shoulder as I roll open. Okay, and just really focus on opening up the chest, opening up the ribs, opening up the front of the hips as much as you can. Maybe left arm drops into the lower back. If you have another variation you like here, feel free to take it. If you're really open, sometimes bending both knees with feet on the ground feels good. If that feels strenuous, please don't do it. One more breath here, wherever you are. If you did bend both knees, re-extend that right leg back out. Left arm reaches back over, and then slowly come all the way back onto your bellies and your hips. Okay, let's switch sides. Right hand underneath right shoulder, left arm, left side, palm down. Bend into the right knee, and then you're gonna press and roll over onto your left hip and side. Relax your head if you can. Press yourself open. Open up your chest, your ribs, the front of the hips, maybe right arm to your lower back. Same thing, take whatever variation feels serving to you today. Let's just take one more breath here. If you did bend the left knee, extend the left leg. Right hand is going to reach back over and then slowly roll back over onto your bellies and onto your hips. Okay. Now, let's take the hands underneath your shoulders, palms down, elbows in. Okay, we're going to do just a few rounds of cobra. Just get a nice little stretch through the front side of your body here. Okay, so activate through your legs, press the tops of the feet into the ground. Inhale, lift up the chest as much as it feels good. You may just keep a deep bend into your elbows, perfectly fine. And exhale, come right back down. Again, inhale, lifting up, maybe come a little higher, maybe not. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, open up the chest, and then exhale, come right back down. Let's hold the next one. Inhale, lifting up. Hold and breathe. Whether your arms are straight or bent, doesn't matter, but I want you to open up the chest and melt the shoulder blades down away from the ears. For me, bending my elbows helps me pull the shoulder blades down. One more breath. Keep the feet pressing into the ground as you slowly start to release some press out of your hands. Keep the feet pressing down and notice how far you have to lower before you can float your hands away from the floor. Holding here, and then slowly reach the arms down to your sides. Neutralize through your neck, and then begin to activate your legs, lifting your legs away from the ground. Really feel your ribs and chest lifting, feel your legs lifting. Holding here for 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down, stack your hands underneath your head, bend your knees, and windshield wiper your feet around side to side or little circles, whatever feels good. One more breath. Lowering the feet down to the ground, hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press back into a nice tabletop position. And we're gonna tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And just holding here for a few breaths as you pedal out your legs. Feel free to find the space between hands and feet that feels most appropriate for you. If you're bending one knee and then the other, feel that opposite heel pressing to the ground. Come into those Ujjayi breaths. And now walk your hands towards your feet. Come all the way to the back of the mat and just let yourself hang out here for a moment. Nice decompression in your lower back. Keep a little bend into the knees or a generous bend into the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then hug yourself in as the hands grab the legs. Give yourself a drawing in on your exhale. 2 more breaths here. You can keep a generous bend in the knees. Maybe it feels good to slowly start extending through the legs a little bit more. And then release your hands down, softness in your knees. We're gonna roll up bone by bone. Start with your lower back. If you need to walk the hands up the legs, you can do that too. Otherwise, just hands dangling, roll up through the lower back. Start to roll up through the mid back, upper back, shoulders. And lastly, feel the head stack right on top. Okay, from here, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, pull them back, and then relax them all the way down. Feel the feet rooting down into the ground. And take a moment to find a focal point in front of you, something to look at. Arms come out to the sides. Okay, so I want you to engage Uddiyana Bandha. Feel the belly button start to pull back and lifting it up. Feeling that upward flying lock. We're gonna keep that as kind of our control center. And then you're gonna lift your pelvic floor up. Okay, so pelvic floor lifts to the navel. Navel lifts up behind the ribs. Arms out to the sides, maintain your breath. Find your focal point and then slowly begin to lift the heels off the ground. Don't lose the core connection. Pelvic floor lifts, navel lifts. Breath. Concentrate on the focal point in the engagement. Step 1 foot forward. Stabilize, breathe. Feel weight start to shift into that forward foot. Move your arms as much as you need to. Feel your core. And then feel the weight come out of the back foot. Slowly step it forward in front of the other. Core stays engaged. Bring your weight forward. Weight comes off the back foot. Slow motion, step it forward. It's okay to lose your balance. We're going to do that one more time. Lean into the front foot, core engaged. Slowly step the left foot forward. Let's step the feet together. Lift the heels high. And then slowly melt everything down. Relax your arms. Roll the shoulders out a little bit here. Maybe kick out through your legs. Okay. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Open up the chest. Let the front side of your body open. And then exhale, hinging forward and down, coming into a nice forward bend. Okay, so from the top of your mat here, I like to have the blocks handy just in case, but if not needed, no worries. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Step your left foot back towards the back of the mat so you're in this nice long lungy position. Front knee should be stacked directly over the ankle, okay? If the knee is poking way over, just readjust it, maybe walk the back foot back a little bit. So you're gonna come up onto your fingertips with a nice long spine. So this is where it's helpful sometimes to get a little more lift with your hands away from the ground to get more length into the spine, okay? So if you need that, take it. Otherwise, just use your hands on the ground, coming up onto the fingertips, and really press through the back foot, reaching through the heel, and drawing forward through the crown of your head. Now feel your belly button start to pull up and in, engaging Uddiyana Bandha. Keep that. Let it help support your spine. Keep it straight. And see if you can take weight, more and more weight out of your fingertips. Maybe your fingertips hover. Don't change the spine. Core stays engaged. Stay here. Maybe the arms extend back. Now, if you really want an extra challenge, you can extend the arms forward, but don't change anything else. One more breath. Slowly lower the hands, drop the back knee to the ground, release the toes. Now let's take the hands to the inside of the foot and just walk the foot out a little bit to the right. Let the toes turn out on the right foot so you get a little more hip opening here. Left hand is going to plant down to the ground or to a block for a little more space. Open up the ribs and chest, right hand reaches up. Now really press the ground down to open up that chest. Try not to collapse into it. Open out of it. Stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can bend the back knee and catch that foot with your top hand, drawing it in. Couple more breaths. If you have the foot, go ahead and gently release it back down. Right hand comes all the way back down to the ground. And then from here, you're gonna slowly tuck the back toes, lift the knee. You're gonna sweep your front foot all the way back and up towards the ceiling. Lift it high, deep breath in, three-legged dog. And exhale, you're gonna come forward like plank. Round your back as you draw your right knee towards your nose, curl your back. One more here. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to nose, slow, steady. And then you're just gonna step the right foot back, walk your hands all the way to your feet, come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. And then you're gonna nice and slowly bend the knees, tuck the tail, rounding your back all the way up to a standing position. Take your time. Once you're all the way up, lift the shoulders forward and up. Spine stays tall. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, same thing, working through the balance in those steps, controlling through the core. Arms open out to the sides. Find a focal point. Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. Pelvic floor lifts up, and then navel starts to draw up towards the ribs, scooping it out. Then, lifting the heels off the ground. Breathe. Find the focal point, drishti. Stepping one foot forward in front of the other. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Keep the core engaged, nice and tight, breathe. And then take the back foot, feel it get lighter until you can slowly step it forward. Breathing, weight transfers into the front foot, back foot becomes light. Slowly step the back foot in front, small steps. Core stays engaged, breath is smooth, back foot steps. Last one here, stepping the feet together, lifting tall, and then melt everything down, feet down, arms to sides, shake everything out. Okay, arms reach up, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, forward fold all the way over. Lengthen the spine, breath in. Okay, this time you're gonna be at the front of the mat, step your right foot back. If you need more, wiggle the back foot back. Get the front knee stacked over the ankle, hands either to the ground on the fingertips or come up onto blocks. Now from here, core engages. Feel the belly button start to hug up and in. Uddiyana Bandha, spine elongates. Make sure the spine stays long and supported. Press into the feet with your core, and as you press into the feet, feel a rooting from your core down. Take some weight out of your fingertips. Spine stays long, maybe hover the fingertips. Core stays supporting the position. Maybe arms extend back. Not changing anything, maybe the arms extend forward. One more breath wherever you are. And then slowly lower the hands, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Let's take the hands to the inside of the foot, walk it open a little bit here, turn the toes out. Okay, right hand plants down, maybe to a block or to the ground. Open up the ribs and chest, left hand reaches up. Maybe bend into the back knee, catch the foot, get a nice little hip stretch here. One more deep breath. Releasing the foot, hand comes all the way down. Now, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, last little bit of core work here. Take the front foot, step it all the way back and up, lift it towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. And exhale, come forward, knee to nose. Try to get shoulders over the wrists, hollow out, round your back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to nose, round, curl. Come up high onto the back toes. Last one. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, squeeze it in. And then step the foot back, drop the knees. Let's take a little child's pose. Sink the hips towards the heels. Relax your spine. Relax your head. Take some tension out of your shoulders. Slow it down, and if you need to, you can open up your mouth and just let it out. And just because we move through a practice, it's a little more accessible and slowed down, does not mean that it can't offer us a great challenge. So really just thank your bodies for what they do for you. Thank them for all that movement we just did. All right, when you're ready, take your time. You're gonna come up to a seat. You're gonna take a block with you, and we're gonna come down onto our backs. As you come onto your back, bend the knees, walk the feet in. We're gonna really target into opening up the front side of the body here. So lift the hips away from the ground, supported bridge pose. Block can be at any height of your choosing. Okay, let's take that block underneath your sacrum, right underneath that flat of your lower back, right above your glutes. If it's too low, you can adjust it higher for more intensity, and if it's too high, you can lower it down and hopefully become a little more restful. Okay, take it to your appropriate variation. Feel your lower back just decompressing, and then feel all the front muscles, all those abdominal muscles just start to melt open. Arms can stretch over your head, they can stretch out to your sides, maybe they stretch down, whatever feels best for them. Let them take that shape. And let's just stay here about 5 or so breaths. Last deep breath in this variation. If your block is on the highest setting, the tallest setting, I want you to just lower it down one notch, okay? So lower 2 settings where it's a little more stable, okay? Now, from here, right knee pulls to the chest, hands pull it in. And then left leg extends out nice and long, reaching out through the foot. We're just gonna kind of intensify that front opening of the hip. So keep pulling the right knee in until you feel that opening here. We've already gotten into the hip flexor a little bit, down into the quad, so this should feel real nice. 2 more breaths. We won't be here for too long. Last deep breath here. And then gently release your left foot and then your right. And then let's switch side. As the feet walk in, left knee draws to the chest, hands pull it in. Right leg extends out long, reaching through the foot, and just start to pull your left knee closer, taking weight out of the right leg. Maybe let it catch a little bit of a hover. Soften the muscles in your face. Use only what's needed here. Let's take a few breaths. Last one. And then release your right foot, followed by the left. Let's walk the feet in. Lift the hips, remove the block out of your way. And as the hips touch back down to the ground, just go ahead and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. As the knees come back up to center, draw them to the chest and lift your head up towards your knees. Squeeze yourself in nice and tight. And then we're going to slowly release into our Shavasanas, coming into our final resting for the practice. So I'm going to give you a couple options. If you want to just rest out, letting your arms and legs just settle out from the midline of your body, you can do that now. If you do have 2 blocks, or if you have a blanket or some pillows at home, something you can use to bring underneath your knees, let your legs still go wider than your hips. And then you're just going to prop underneath the knees so they have a little bit of a lift. And that helps really with kind of releasing any tension that might accumulate into that lower back from just resting flat, okay? We have that little bit of a bridge up into the knees, a nice little support. So just feel your lower back melting open from wherever you are, arms open out. And let's give ourselves a couple breaths here together. Exhale, feel your breath, release out. Slow breath in through the nose. Open up through your entire torso from the bottom all the way to the top. Once you reach the top of the breath, hold it. And then open your mouth and exhale, let it all the way out. Again, slow breath in through the nose, filling up and expanding in all directions. Lift up any of that last little bit of tension lingering in your body. Hold at the top. And then just open your mouth and let everything go. Feel everything settle into a space that feels more relaxed, more comfortable, more at ease, a fully surrendered state. So the body melts in, the mind relaxes away from any thoughts or attachments, any clutter, and start to rest below the surface, dropping down into your depth. You're still. that calm clarity. And just give yourself some time here to enjoy simply being for the next few minutes. Let go. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Move some of that breath and energy down into your fingers and your toes. Feeling a little movement. Lift it up into your wrists and your ankles, and maybe just sway your head a little bit. Loosen up your neck. Stretch the arms over your head. And as you stretch out through your legs, if you have blocks, don't worry, just keep them there. You can even press into the blocks and peel the hips away from the ground, shifting a little bit. Otherwise, just reach, lengthen. And then as the hips drop, if they're lifted, let's all draw knees to chest, hands wrap around the legs, and just sway yourself side to side. Rolling over to either side, fetal position, and then use your top hand to press into the floor and slowly guide yourself all the way up. You can set any props you have in your way out. And with the spine lifted, lift the shoulders, draw them back and down. Hands joined together at heart center. Just take a moment, once again, be grateful for your bodies exactly as they are and for wherever you are in your practice. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I do a lot of shorter videos, so it's really nice to get a full practice in with a good Shavasana. Let me know in the comments how you liked it, if you have any requests for the future, and I will be seeing y'all soon. Thank you.